Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how the new addition to Grand Theft Auto Online, that being the Sabre Turbo Custom, looks to have just upset the balance in the muscle car racing class and might just now be the fastest vehicle. So that's right, when the Sabre Turbo arrived yesterday, we were probably all excited about just getting to customize it in Benny's. Didn't really think too much of it, but it actually turns out that this vehicle is the fastest in the muscle car class. And today I'm going to be doing a few tests to confirm that. There's also been some other videos that have done multiple other tests with the Sabre Turbo in comparison to other cars, so I'll leave that in the description as well. But in today's video, we are going to be testing fully upgraded and customized vehicles on a straight line drag race. So that's right, all the vehicles in this video have been fully customized in either Benny's or the Los Santos custom shops. They have all the appropriate mods, spoiler options when applicable, and are simply upgraded all the way. Now, you can see the job we're using right here. I think it's 0.62 kilometers, which I think is like 1,000 meters. So that's the drag race we're going to be doing. We've used this for previous videos, and it's gone over fairly well. And today we are going to be testing out 4 vehicles. Obviously, the Sabre Turbo Custom, the Blackfin, the Dominator, and the Dukes. Those are primarily the best in terms of the muscle car category. All right, so let's start with the Sabre Turbo Custom, and for all of these races, I'm not using the accelerated start. Catch-up has been turned off. I'm just holding down the trigger until it says go, and then I'm obviously just going and driving. So the Sabre Turbo Custom had some pretty good times. I think my fastest one was 23.792, but I also had another time of, believe it or not, 23.892. So literally just a fraction of a second shorter than that. So that actually turned out to be the fastest time out of all the vehicles, as you'll clearly see coming up. 23.792. Absolutely insane when we compare it to some of the other vehicles that we're going to be looking at in this category. So overall, it felt really fast and it felt really good even before I did these tests. But I guess these just do really confirm that it is an incredibly fast and powerful vehicle. So moving on, up next, we've got the Blackfin. You guys know the Blackfin came from one of the Ill-Gotten Gains DLCs, and I was surprised when they put this in the muscle car category as compared to the sports classics. And the 2 times that I was able to get today on the Blackfin are 24.993 and at 24.928 seconds. So very close, about 0.7 seconds apart. And those times are about a second and 0.1 slower than the Sabre Turbo Custom, which you might not think is a lot, but in a race is a ton. Anything approaching over a second is a huge difference. And when you get into the 2-second range, that is a crazy difference in terms of speed. So that is ridiculous in my opinion, so much faster than the Blackfin. Up next, we've got the Vapid Dominator. You guys know the Dominator has been in the game for a while now. For the longest time was heralded the best muscle car in the game. And the Dominator, at least in my 2 times, got times of 24.691 and 24.726. making it just slightly faster than the Blackfin, but still about a second behind the Sabre Turbo Custom. So I think in total it was about 0.9 seconds slower, which is still pretty close to that 1 second range. So there's ultimately a significant difference in the fastest time right there, which is ultimately very, very interesting in my opinion. It's crazy to see the Dominator beat because for so long it's been the best muscle car in the game. And finally, last but not least, I wanted to test the Dukes. Now, I knew the Dukes probably wasn't going to be very competitive, but I wanted to include one other muscle car in this list, and it's still at an okay time. The first time I got was 25.260. followed up by 25.228. So very similar times for the Dukes, but that's approaching the 1.65 second difference compared to the Sabre Turbo Custom, which once again got a 23.792 and a 23.892. So comparing it to all the other times we've seen today, there's obviously a staunch difference between that and from the ones we've seen. So let's talk about those results for a bit. Now, obviously, that is just a straight line drag test, which is really only going to test acceleration and top speed. There's a lot of other variables that will go in place when determining a vehicle that you should ultimately use in a racing car class. However, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's other videos out there that test it on various circuits. So I'll leave that link in the description. You can check it out. That also does confirm that the Sabre Turbo Custom is primarily the best muscle car that you can use in the game. Now, I know a lot of people might be upset about this because the racing class for the muscle cars used to be one of the most balanced sections in the game. I believe there was like at least 3 or 4 or 5 really vehicles that anyone could almost use and have a really fair chance at winning. Whereas kind of the other classes, if you don't choose the 1 or 2 top vehicles, you really are going to be left behind when it comes to those races because you're simply just not going to have the firepower to really win a race. However, now with the addition of the Sabre Turbo Custom, it really does put the other muscle cars behind the 8 ball, especially considering it's about a second to 2 seconds faster than all the other vehicles in the muscle car class, really putting all those others at a disadvantage. And I've talked to some guys who are more in tune with like the racing statistics and racing other vehicles, and essentially the Sabre Turbo Custom has the handling of the original Sabre Turbo. It has the acceleration of vehicles very similar to the Blade, and it has top speed of the Dominator, which would make it completely overpowered because the Dominator for the longest time had the highest top speed, but it was also one of those vehicles that was moderately difficult to control. So now you're getting handling of a Sabre Turbo Custom, which is really good. You got acceleration of the Blade, which is really top class, and now you're getting top speed of the Dominator. So if you use really any other vehicle other than the Sabre Turbo, you're probably going to lose in a muscle car race. And now this begs the question, is the Sabre Turbo Custom more worth the price that it's given? Because in terms of upgrading, it is one of the most expensive muscle cars and Benny's vehicles that you could take into the game. I mean, just to upgrade it, it's going to be $500,000. By the time you get all the upgrades like engine, braking, turbo, you're close to $700,000. So at the end of the day, it's a pretty expensive muscle car. And now it seems like everyone might be using this in muscle races, and it might have just sent like a big RIP notice to the muscle car racing class. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below on what you think of this. What do you think of the racing we did today, the results we got? What do you think of the Sabre Turbo? Is it more justified in being worth the price that it is right now, being that it's one of the most expensive cars we've seen in terms of the muscle car class? I'll leave that discussion up to you guys in the comment section down below. If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.